It's the Beat Break Morning Show with Sean Garvey and the crew.
Wake that ass up. The Beat Break Morning Show, the Beat Break Podcast. Sean Garvey.
DJ Roller.
And Dynasty is in the building.
Yeah.
Yeah. It took me 3 months to find this because I was partially in quarantine mode just like everyone else, and I found it. That's one good thing to take away out of.
You made good use of your time.
Yeah.
I'm so happy.
Yeah.
Good use of your time on finding a clapper.
How long ago did I ask about a clapper?
Was it this year?
Yeah, it was last year.
It was last year.
It was last year. It's not 2020.
Okay, it wasn't 2020. Okay.
I'm just saying that
So
you.
now we know what was going on. You didn't know where a clapper was. Okay.
Yeah, it's right here. You got it right here.
I get it.
How you been doing, Dynasty? 3.
I've been great. Other than, being kind of on pause with singing, I'm kind of feeding right now like a crackhead. I need to be on stage.
Yeah, you kind of shaking
You know
right
what
there,
I'm saying?
man.
I'm really scratching and stuff,
Yeah.
But mine is for singing, not because of crack, you know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying, or any drug, that's my high. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, my high is singing, being on stage.
Oh, okay, yeah. Because
You know.
last time we or some of us went to your performance, your concert at Cafe 290, and that was that the last place you performed
That
at
was it.
before
That was
COVID?
it.
Okay.
That was it, yeah.
Yeah.
Now I am gonna one of my karaoke guys that we're friends, and he does karaoke all around Atlanta, and he's doing something Saturday, and he's gonna feature me. So
Yeah.
I'm excited about that. Just
Awesome.
to go out and do a couple songs,
Yeah.
get back out there. I might do something like a Dynasty at Home thing. I was thinking about it.
Yeah.
So I'm
That's
thinking about doing that.
Okay.
So it might be a hot idea because obviously I can't get back out there like I want to. In the club scene,
Right.
not yet. So we don't know how long that's gonna last.
Yeah.
So
That's a good idea.
yeah, so I'm thinking about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Just invite people to your home.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Digitally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, come on in digitally.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's easy. You don't got to clean up after nobody.
That's true.
Ain't nobody gonna dirty up, scuff up my floors and all that kind of stuff.
So that happened to you during quarantine mode.
What?
I don't know. You had visitors.
Oh
at your house
no,
during
no, no, no,
quarantine
no, no,
mode?
no. I'm just saying, if you ain't got to worry about that. You don't got to worry about people. When you're doing digital, you don't got to worry about people coming in and scuffing up your floors and all in your refrigerator and whatnot, doing stuff.
You said all over your
You
refrigerator.
looking at me like I did those things.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Some people don't know you ain't supposed to do that. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
I don't know,
I'm
but
like, I don't go.
I know I don't just be going in nobody's refrigerator, but some people, you know what I'm saying? Just I don't know, So you don't gotta worry about that,
Right.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's what's up. Like we said off the air, COVID-19 is not going to stop us.
Exactly.
Yeah, we back in the studio. We had to take a 3-month hiatus from being here at the fabulous WadeWorksStudios in the ATL.
Okay.
Yeah, we've been doing some of our shows via Zoom meeting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, this COVID-19, boy, it's been so serious for weeks and weeks and weeks. Let me tell you all a quick story. I was in Morrow this past week. I was in Morrow, Georgia, making some rounds, taking care of some business affairs. And then I saw a line full of cars at this one area, and apparently they were doing free test screenings.
Oh, okay.
Testing people to see whether they have COVID or not.
Right.
I've already been tested, and it came out negative, so I was all Gucci. But I was like, it won't hurt to get tested again, just to make sure. So I went up to the line, and I was only in line for maybe a good 5-6 minutes.
Wow.
In the car. But I didn't get tested, though.
Mm-hmm.
This is what happened. So one of the nurses came up to my car and, asked me, "Hey, sir, may I help you?" I'm like, "Yeah, I wanted to see if I can get tested for COVID-19,
Right.
what have you." It's like, "Yeah, do you have insurance?" And I was like, "Well, no."
Well,
No. Because the thing,
No
'cause-
insurance, no test.
Yes, pretty much. But no. I take that back. If you don't have insurance, you can still get tested.
But you pay for it.
You have to pay for it.
Okay.
So some private organizations and agencies because they're not funded by the government. They have to charge people who do not have insurance to be tested for COVID-19. So if you got insurance, then you good. You don't have to pay any type of out-of-pocket costs or anything, right?
It covers it 100%.
Absolutely. But if you do not have insurance, you have to pay $150.
$150 for the test?
$150.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
For a test.
For a 2-minute test.
That's crazy. And everybody needs to be tested, so why would you charge a dollar amount?
I looked at the nurse crazy, like, get the out of here. $150 without insurance.
Nah, that's crazy.
Isn't that crazy? Facebook,
That's crazy.
IG.
I didn't know it was that much at all without insurance. I didn't think it was.
Crazy.
I thought it might be maybe close to 100, but I didn't think it was gonna be over 100. Like
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Man.
$150.
But yeah, that stimulus check though. Yeah, that stimulus check.
I've been got it.
But I'm saying they're gonna help pay for it though.
Yeah, but I don't feel like paying to get tested for COVID-19 though.
Yeah, I think everybody should have been able to be
portions.
tested really for free, honestly.
I don't want to put portions of what the powers that be gave to me into a test to see whether I'm positive or negative or not.
Right.
So I asked her, but she,
especially when it's an epidemic.
yeah, that's crazy. They should make it into a law, like everybody get tested and it covers everything. You don't have to pay nothing.
Right.
They should make that into a law.
I think it should be.
Put that on the hill. Put that on the hill.
Man.
Capitol Hill. So
Yeah. I mean, let's just be real. Facebook, IG, morning show crew, morning show listeners, would you pay $150 if you did not have insurance? If you do not have insurance, would you pay $150 for a COVID-19 test to see whether you are positive or negative?
Now, here's another question. Now, we're going to have some uninsured children. Is
Right.
150 for everybody, or is 150 for 21 and up?
That's a good question.
Because
Yeah.
that's the question I would love to ask that, because you can't charge a 12-year-old $150 just to make sure that he or she is clear.
They probably think that everybody got it, including the kids. Like, you got these little kids buying these Jordans and they $200 and stuff. That's not what I'm saying.
Right.
That's what some folks would say.
Right. Yeah.
That's
If you got money to buy all this unnecessary stuff, so they probably, I don't know, that's all about the outcome, but they definitely should not charge anything of that price for a test that is still new. It's not even technically in the United States, it's not even 6 months old yet, technically. So why would you charge that much?
right.
So
Yeah, that $150 just gonna have to go towards my bill, my phone bill.
your phone bill.
Yeah.
I hope it's bills, not just one bill for 150.
No, that's how much my bill is for my phone service.
Woo, 150.
150.
150.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Wow. That's a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
But yeah. But you know what is a lot though? All these stories that I got in front of me. 411 Wire coming up.
Okay.
Right now. The hot 411 Wire.
Uh-oh.
All right. Steamy. But no, it's not nothing pertaining to gossip and everything. It's all pertaining to racism.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't know, we should tie in you may be a racist and you don't even know it into the 411 Wire.
Let's be unique.
Yeah.
Let's be unique.
Okay, let's be unique with it. All right, the hot 411 Wire, letting you all know what is going on with your favorite celebrities. All right, including Gucci Mane. I don't know why people still say Gucci Man. It's Gucci Mane. You got to add the E in there.
No. The E is silent. Just make it the long A sound.
Yeah.
How do you say it?
Gucci Mane.
I say Gucci Mane.
I don't say man. I say Mane.
I said Mane.
So it's like the way I say it is not man. It may not be close to. It's close to Mane, but I say Mane.
How do you say Gucci Mane, Dynasty?
It's Maine. I would say Maine.
Maine? You say Maine?
Maine.
Okay.
I mean, but I'm from
So-
Jersey, so you know my accent and my
Yeah,
tone
there
is
you
probably
go.
going
Our
to
northern
say.
accent,
Some
yes.
people that have a southern accent probably say it exactly like it's supposed to be said.
Yeah.
How he probably says it, but I probably say Gucci Mane.
Well, yeah, I
Because
mean,
I'm
whatever.
just saying it the way it's pronounced, you know, with the long A. So it's not gonna have a twang to it because I don't have a southern
Yeah.
thing. You know, I'm from up north, so.
Yeah. Yeah. I showed this person Gucci Mane. I showed this person Gucci and they say grouchy. What is it, grouchy?
Now that's just
Like,
wrong. That's just all wrong.
I'm like, where's the GR in there, man?
And the OU, you know.
Yeah, man.
Sesame Street, okay.
Right. Grouch, man.
But Gucci Mane recently took to Twitter that he said he is leaving Atlantic Records. Calls the label, quote, polite racist. That's what he calling the label, polite racist.
Polite.
Yeah.
Not polite, polite.
Polite. Not polite. Polite.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what he did, ladies and gentlemen. He went to Twitter and said he was leaving Atlantic Records due to allegations of inner racism within the company. And then he deleted the tweet before retweeting public figures praising him for the move. In another deleted tweet, he called on artists to go on strike and protest as racist as labels. He also goes on to say,
Wow.
burn them down too. Maine.
Man.
I added that Maine in there. But yeah.
So basically, of how we've seen, you and I definitely, and you too, Dynasty, seen how the record industries have definitely not been paying their artists the way they should have been doing for so many years.
Yeah,
Right.
there's been
And,
a lot of artists been very vocal about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm
Right.
like, okay, so it's the BLM movement is making people do stuff that they thought about doing, but now since it's like basically it's what was born maybe about 4 or 5 years ago, and it's been a little, I would call it embryo. Because it was so little. It was trying to get big, but it didn't get big. And it's gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. And on May 29th, after George Floyd was, I say, executed.
Right.
I don't say no murder. I say he was executed. That's when the movement just like became a 10-year-old child. And it's growing very, very fast. And so people are in different industries are taken to the next level about doing that, because we've been hearing about what record labels have been doing for so many years, and he's taking that step. So who's next?
Yeah. Yeah, and Rolling Stone, it's so funny you said that, DJ Roland, because according to an investigation by Rolling Stone magazine, they said that there's been plenty of well-known musicians that have came out vocally about wildly uneven contracts that see white executives profiting from black music while passing only a small amount of that wealth to artists. And how many times have we seen that? How many
Man.
It's been
times?
going on forever.
Forever. Yeah.
So that's why so many folks don't want to be in the industry under a major label. They want to do it independently.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's the reason why folks do that, and I applaud them for doing that. So find your way of getting that money all to yourself, because you know someone else is not going to give it to you.
Yeah. What did Q-Tip say in that song, Check the Rhyme, A Tribe Called Quest? Industry rule 4080. Record label companies are shady.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
He never lied. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, man. So that's what it is. But we're going to see what's going to happen with Gucci and Atlantic Records, and see if everybody from Atlantic Records, because apparently there's artists that are still signed to Atlantic Records, but we're going to see what's going to happen after that. And, if Gucci is going to be independent, because he did say he was going to be independent before, but I guess Atlantic offered him a deal that he couldn't refuse, and he took that deal, and then now fast forward, it could be that possibility he could be fully independent after this situation?
Well, I hope he has enough because you know this dynasty yourself that with any record label, if you leave voluntarily without being cut off, and they already paying you, that will he owe anything?
Oh yeah, whatever your contract stipulates, you have to
Yep.
fulfill that contract.
Absolutely, man.
That's why Prince went through crazy. God.
And George Michael.
I just think about Prince a lot because man, he Prince went ballistic.
He tried to warn y'all. He tried to warn y'all. Hey, listen. Also, Diddy. I don't know if you all knew this or not, but Diddy recently launched Revolt Black News. And for those that are still not aware or unfamiliar with Revolt is a cable channel that showcase a lot of music videos, but it's also home of the televised The Breakfast Club.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you're gonna get Revolt Black News hosted by Ebony K. Williams. She is known to be a former practicing attorney who also appeared on the Revolt's weekly talk show titled State of the Culture, and she also been seen as a correspondent for CBS and CNN, as well as a Fox News Channel contributor. So shout out to Diddy for that. That reminds me, and I said this on Wandlin Stokes show recently, that it's like somewhat like BET News from back in the day. You know, BET was that network channel for music videos and other alternative programming, but then you also had BET News with Ed Gordon and Jackie Reed and a few other news correspondents. So it's good to see that on a channel where its demographics are millennials. Because with everything that's going on around the world, Black Lives Matter, injustice and stuff like that, we need a news outlet.
Right.
Yeah.
On that particular level, on that particular channel.
All right.
Yeah, man. So shout outs to that.
Actually, have you seen the commercial?
No, I haven't seen it.
I've seen it. I was wondering where it's going to start broadcasting it. I did see it, and it's like a 15-second promo about it, and I'm like, okay, I wouldn't mind checking it out, but I'm like, just check your local listings or something. I'm like, what?
Right.
I'm like, where can I check it out? I just want to at least have an opportunity to check it out. So I'm like, I ain't know if it could be a streaming thing or what. So
right.
Oh yeah. I mean, you can go. I think it's Revolt.tv or Google Revolt TV, and they of course, just like any other platform, they have a website, of course.
Right.
But if you're not a Comcast subscriber, because you can only access it through Comcast. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, man. But they got some good programming on there too. Got great programming. All right, and also Ludacris, he is on the, I guess you could say, on the quest to help more and more young people become the leaders of today and tomorrow. He recently built his own online media platform for children called Kid Nation, which aims to educate and inspire young people as well as promoting acceptance of others. Yeah, so our very own Ludacris, man. Shout out.
That's good.
Yeah,
good.
it's great to see great Atlanta artists like Ludacris, like T.I. and Killer Mike that are taking a stance against injustice, against all the adversities and challenges happening in Black America, especially with the high-profile cases that are going on right now. So it's just great to see that leadership from artists. You know.
Okay, on that note, do you think a lot of the millennials know who these artists are? Because we know who they are, but do like little kids from, let's say, like 5 to 15 and whatnot, do they really know who they are? Because they follow and listen to millennial artists like Baby,
the Baby,
and Little Baby, and all them.
Yeah.
Like, to me, since they're like the hot item right now for that generation, why hasn't one of them stood up.
Well, the baby has participated in a protest. He
has
participated in a
participated
few protests, and he
Okay.
plans to make a protest song from the resources or
Okay.
sources that I saw.
Okay, good.
I don't know about the baby now.
I don't care any of the babies. Just do something. I mean, I don't care who it is. I
Yeah.
mean, like to even see Cardi B do something, because everybody likes Cardi B for all ages. Why don't she do something? I'm not saying she hasn't, because she does say stuff on social media, but I'm talking about taking a stance on doing something that will help our people.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm looking for, is someone of those type of artists to do something like that, because T.I. and Ludacris have done, and of course Killer Mike have done things like this before, and they're doing it at a large stance now because of what's going on currently. But I want one of those artists to step up and do something and be in the front scenes to promote the things that are going on, and not just joining protests. What are you doing? Like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to donate or anything. I haven't seen anything on social media that baby said, I'm going to donate $100,000 to start this program. I just personally haven't seen it. I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but I haven't seen it. So I hope they're doing something else besides just making songs.
I think, yeah, and you do have artists that are doing it behind the scenes. They just not being vocal about it, or they just not saying it online, which someone brought up a good point. I take, for example, the social media blackout Tuesday that happened recently. And I will say, to be perfectly honest with everybody listening and everybody that's in the room, I didn't participate it. And I know plenty of people that did, but that did not participate in the blackout Tuesday on social media. Not saying that it was wrong for other people to do it, because of course it was their way of expressing solidarity for the murder of George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, and many others that have lost their lives by the hands of police officers. So I get that. I'm more of an actionist, and I'm not saying that those that participated aren't. There's other ways of protest. There's other ways to show solidarity.
Right.
Like outside of here, I work at WALK, where we did a moment of reflection for 8 minutes and 46 seconds, because that was the estimated time that George Floyd was kneeled down, that the officer had his knee on his neck. So I participated in that just by being a producer of that show and, taking that assignment to make sure that was executed over the air. But there's other ways to protest. At the end of the day, everybody is not going to march. Right. Everybody's not going to participate in the protest. I mean, can you imagine if every single body, Rollum and Dynasty, participated in the protest demonstration? America would be on lockdown. It would be shut down.
Yeah.
It would be shut down.
It would.
You try calling for a pizza at 9 p.m. like, hey, I want to order a pizza. Like, nobody ain't here, bro. Like, what you mean nobody ain't here? Everybody at the protest. Like, you mean you trying to tell me I can't get a veggie pizza?
Well, you should be out at the protest with everybody else. If everybody's out there, then that's where you're supposed to be.
We'll serve you at the protest.
Right, exactly. go out there, you can get you a slice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But you see what I'm saying? So, but yeah, many of us have done something to raise awareness, to help the families of the victims, and to also bring forth justice for the officers involved in that incident. I know for me, I signed a petition courtesy of change.org to help bring justice for Breonna Taylor. So I signed the petition. Shout out to change.org for doing that. Hey, anybody in this room, I do want to ask the question, what have you all done recently?
You can go ahead, Dennis.
Not saying that. I participated in the protest down in Decatur Square. Actually, one of my friends and her daughter spearheaded that particular protest, and we actually sat down on the ground and did a kneel for 8 minutes and 46 seconds, and you realize how long that is, especially at first I was kneeling and I was like, gosh, this is uncomfortable. And I sat down on the ground and, we did the silence, and you think about how long that truly is where we could get up. Unfortunately, George Floyd could not get up because somebody had their knee on his neck. So, and we, had people speak about, it was peaceful. It was an awesome event. A lot of people appreciated doing the event. We posted, they made these little flags that said Black Lives Matter around that monument. There's some pictures I posted on Facebook that showed the monument that needs to come down. A lot of people are getting, tearing down monuments that kind of promote the, white supremacy. And, they had inside out like that two-sided tape where they wrapped around the monument, and they put, posted, some people put some of their signs against the monument to show that they were in protest of that monument in Decatur Square and it needs to come down. So, so I was out there for that. I've had conversations with people that are not our color, and they've asked, what I think that they can do to help. One, you can make people understand, stop deflecting and saying when somebody says Black Lives Matter, that means we think that all lives don't matter. That's not what it means. It means that we need to be treated as equal. That's not what we're saying. And even when Kaepernick, was kneeling, they try to make it seem, oh, I don't want nobody disgracing the flag. That's not what it's about. So it's really kind of, again, make people understand, especially folks, you have people that are not racist, that are of another color, white people, I'm just say that, but they feel like, one of my friends called me and she was in tears and she was just like, I just, I know I don't go through that because I'm not that color, and I realize how oblivious I've been to that struggle, so I think as people, and we all probably have friends and come in contact with people who are not Black, they are white, and they want to know, what can I do? What can I do? How can I help? And that's great. I think, at least we can say we've got a lot further in that regard from where we have years ago, where we didn't have that kind of support in the other, races. And I'm happy to see that it's gone world, it's going around the world where they're supporting, like, this needs to stop. I can't begin to understand the hatred because of the color of someone's skin.
Right. Facts.
Yeah. My viewpoint is that because of what I've done, I haven't really been out in the protest or any event or anything, but I definitely do a social media. I comment, and some of them I do have small conversations about certain things, and that's how I promote it. When I did I participated in the blackout social media. I just put my screen as blackout, and I put vote. Oh yeah, that's the thing.
Absolutely.
Just make sure
Absolutely.
The key thing is that's one of the first things you got to do. You can't have any personal negative energy about, like, I ain't gonna vote because my vote don't count. Go ahead and vote.
Right.
Try it. Once you see it, it's like trying to drink for the first time.
Right.
See if you like it or not.
Right.
So try that and whatnot. Because it can go a long way with that. Shout out to Tyrone Harris. He is one of the main guys who has been promoting a lot of news clips and what's going on across the country and everything, and he puts his little thoughts with it, and that's one of the main people I conversated with socially on there, and he brought up a lot of stuff that is going on currently, of course, but things that make you want to think, like, wow, this is really going on, and for the folks that are not our color and whatnot, key thing is it starts at home.
Oh yeah,
it starts at home.
Yeah.
If you don't teach hatred and whatnot, it won't continue to keep growing.
Yeah, exactly.
You can acknowledge what has happened, acknowledge it, but don't promote it. Don't teach it as, like, you make sure
this is the way of life.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
Don't do that. And put it as a negative view to do this as you grow, as you said, a way of life. Once we control that we'll see change.
Right.
Another change, and a lot of folks are not going to agree with this, Some folks, the millennials are going to agree with this, but a lot of our age won't agree with this, or probably will agree with it. If you are over, and I had a conversation with my brother, if you're over 70 years old, still in Congress, I mean, even though the head of the House is nearly 80 and whatnot, I'm not saying she's doing a great job, but if you have majority, 70% majority, 70-year-old folks in Congress, not Georgia state, I mean them too, but if you have a majority of them still in there, sorry, Lewis, you part of it too. If you've been in there that long, how you going to relate to us? You're old enough to be our parents and grandparents. How in the world you can relate to our needs? You think you know because, well, I have experience. Yeah, 50 years. None of us are here 50 and whatnot, but yeah, 50 years of experience. Do we really need that much experience just to say what is best and what is best for the country, what is best for a district? You don't need all that. You need someone, I say, around our age, has been there a little bit, like 5 to 15 years in doing something. Not no 50 years. You were in office when we were kids. And it's 2020. Good Lord, really? I mean, I'm voting. I know who I'm voting for, but really, why? I mean, I don't have the experience, so I can't just go like, I'm going to run for the United States. I ain't gonna do that. I'm not going to do it because I know I'm not qualified. But why can't someone just say, I'm going to try this and see what happens? Because you're getting all these folks, including the ones that are running, most of them that are running for office right now, are 70 plus years old. So how in the world are they going to reach to us? So that's the problem right there. Because some of the stuff is going to continue because they're going to keep thinking like, oh yeah, that's what happened. That's best for that. They're going to blah, blah, blah. They're going to repeat what's going on currently and not stop what's going on currently. That's my view.
That's your view. And I got to take a moment to say shout outs to comedian Dave Chappelle, who recently released a Netflix special highlighting police brutality, but in his own unique way. It is 8 minutes and 46 seconds. That's the name of the special.
On Netflix?
On Netflix.
Okay, wow. I'll look at it when I get home. I'll look at it when I get home.
It's on Netflix, yeah. And I think it's on, I did.
They ready to cut now. Like, Z-Way, like, okay, I'm about to wrap this up. Let's go. You say, like, oh, you said it's on Netflix? Okay, I got to go now.
Turn the lights off.
Y'all know what that means, right?
I'm about to renew my Netflix subscription right now. I renewed everything else during this 3-month hiatus.
Right.
But I read somewhere that it's also on YouTube for free. So I gotta check in and see, because if it's on YouTube for free,
you don't have to renew your Netflix.
Yeah.
How about that?
I'm trying to save money during this COVID-19 pandemic. You know what I'm saying? Well, it's just only $7.99 a month. I don't care.
That's $7 I could keep in my pocket.
But you know what? I do gotta catch up on my Dolomite though. My name is Dolomite.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I left Netflix though after the second and last season of She Gotta Have It. pretty much.
Them your kind of shows, honey.
Once that show got canceled, I canceled Netflix.
You know, see what I'm saying? See? I mean, at least we know some things haven't changed.
Right.
We know you're fine.
I know, of course.
We know you are Sean.
Mm-hmm. I just wanted to see you. Mm-hmm. You know, I just wanted to see
if she's got to have.
Well, she had it. She had it. But I was just going to see if she
more.
And kept having it, apparently.
That's what I said, had more.
Right.
I just wanted to see if she was going to go back to being Stickly, what you call it? Strictly Dicky, or if she was,
Happy Sam.
Yes,
so important. So important, I know.
All right.
What's up, Bryson?
This has been your hot 4-1 wire right here on the Beat Break Morning Show, the Beat Break Podcast. Got to send a shout out to Crystal Cross, who I met outside of the studio in the green room just a few moments ago. She does a show called The Morning Jam, 7:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. She does it Facebook Live. So for all my Facebook users and new Facebook users out there, make sure you check her out live on Facebook for The Morning Jam to get some inspiration in your life. And we need a lot of inspiration in our lives right now with this crisis. Like, let me just talk to everybody for a moment. Let me just talk, because I know our theme today is all black everything, and during the first hour of the program we're gonna try to touch on as much items as possible, but if not, we have to wait until the second hour of the program. But of course the world is in a crisis right now. World is in a crisis. You have those that are in panic mode, and you know, you have people that are in what I call organized chaos. Because I was talking to a friend of mine, and she just said that everybody right now is just all over the place mentally. And the good thing about this is that in this pandemic, because there's two pandemics. There's the COVID-19 pandemic, and then there's the racism pandemic. And out of these two pandemics, you start to see more awareness than ever before, and you start to see more establishments and businesses paying more and more attention to our needs and to what we've been demanding for and asking for years and years and years. But we here at the Beat Break Morning Show, the Beat Break Podcast, we want to be that platform to not only make you think and to not also put you in a state of being alarmed, but we want to make you laugh. You know, we want to make sure that we put a smile on your face during and after you listen to this program. We don't want to get into an uproar over what's going on. Like, of course, we want to still be aware of what's going on. We want to do everything that we can to bring forth change. But we don't want people to start losing their hair and go crazy because of all these things that are going on. Because then we start losing focus on what we're trying to accomplish. You know, so that's all I wanted to say. I just want people to relax. Everybody relax. Ask yourself, when was the last time you meditated?
Did he even meditate?
Do you even meditate? Do you even pray? Like, you know, of all my Christian people, do you even pray each morning? Or when you go to bed, do you pray at night? And if so, what do you pray for? You know, do you pray for world peace? Do you pray for racism to end? Do you pray for the police brutalities to end? Do you pray that this COVID-19 goes away quick and in a hurry? What do you pray for? What do you meditate for? Yeah. You got to ask yourself that.
Take your time to ask yourself. Don't be in a rush, so you can release and relax. And listen to the Beat Break Morning Show.
Exactly.
Let's get in the mood.
Yeah.
You go down there. Yeah, exactly. The Beat Break Morning Show, the Beat Break Podcast. We're back in the WadeWorksStudios. We've been having people asking us, when you are going to be back at WadeWorksStudios? When y'all going to be back? We weren't sure at first when we were going to be back.
Right.
You know,
we
but
weren't sure because we had to make sure. I mean, we promoted the show quarantine style and whatnot. It's just that, you know, we were protecting ourselves and making sure everything was, you know, okay before we came back. We were going to come back. We just didn't know. And when we got the green flag to come, and that's why we're here.
Yeah.
And because G said so.
Thank you, G. Thank you very much.
You gotta give him more content for his platform, people. Just saying. Yeah. Shout out to everybody on the check-in. Shout out to Tanisha on the check-in. Shout out to Bryson on the check-in. Shout out to Keith on the check-in. If you're checking in with us, we are coming to you live via Facebook, on my personal page at Sean Garvey, on DJ Rollum's page at DJ Rollum Townsend.
DJ Rollum Townsend on Facebook, but it's always DJ Rollum on other social media platforms.
Yeah, and IG at Beat Break Radio. Thank you all for tuning in, for all my IG users out there. And how can people follow you, and where can people follow you to check out you live, Dynasty?
Dynasty Smith on Facebook, Dynasty Smith 01 on Twitter, and on IG, DYNASTI 55.
That's what's up. That's what's happening. All right. So in the first hour of the Beat Break Morning Show, during the first hour of the Beat Break Morning Show, and throughout the entire show this morning, we're talking about all things considered black. All black everything. When you hear those three words, Dynasty, what comes to your mind? All black everything. Or how we say in the South, all black everything.
All black everything.
Yeah.
I guess basically all things black in terms of, cultural music, what's happening now in the black community. Just basically that we are, that black people are hurt right now and crying out that we want change. So I think that's pretty much where we're at right now, and hopefully we'll get it.
Yeah. Yeah. What about you, DJ Roland?
What all black means to me? Man, first and foremost, support your black businesses and stop BSing around.
Yeah.
That's my first thing. Support them and try to become one by not being jealous of one another. Because we have a lot of jealousy in our black community.
Yep.
And stop doing that and uplift the next black person. Like, I was just telling my son when I was picking him up, I saw some black young men coming out, and even though all four of them looked like they were not going to say nothing to me, I said, "What's up, fellas? Hey!" All of them said, "Hey," even though none of them were like they were not going to say nothing to me. Sometimes you got to make that first move, just saying hey. And whatnot, even though I know they were doing because I smelled what they were doing. So I'm like, okay. So I'm like, all right.
Okay.
So you're in your moment. Okay, yeah. All right, fine. So, but definitely support, uplift, and don't be jealous. If someone has a couple more things than you do, okay. Don't be jealous. Like, okay, do I want the same thing they got?
Yeah.
Or am I comfortable with what I already have?
Right.
So don't be jealous that they got it, and don't be rowdy. Us folks need to stop getting rowdy when things are not going our way. If we do that, I think we'll be better. Because you can't always be rowdy on every single situation just because you don't agree with it. That's
right.
my thing.
Yeah, we talked about that in the town hall meeting on the podcast, the Beat Break Morning Show, the night of the protest, the first protest demonstration. A lot of mixed feelings, a lot of mixed reviews towards it, and we'll get into that a little bit later on in the program. But to answer the question, all black everything to me means equality. It means positivity. It means taking a word that was used to mean something negative and turning it into a positive and applying that to everything. In the dictionary, they still have the word black as dark. One of the first many words to describe black.
Okay.
I think that all that's going to change now, especially with the Webster dictionary. That there's already a call to change the meaning of racism to something else. Oh.
I wonder what that's going to be like.
All black everything.
All black everything.
Yeah. And the question I am asking to our listeners is, what is on the black agenda? I feel like we don't have one right now.
It's being worked on. I'll send you a video. Tanya sent me a video. It's about 10 minutes. I'll send it to both of y'all, including G. It's broken down on basically on what we want as a whole and what we need to do. And he really spoke a lot of stuff that really I have not heard anybody else say. And he broke it down basically of how to have equality, how to give us opportunity, and how to grow, and how to protect ourselves. That's what needs to be done in a general to have the next phase to happen. Because if you look at some of the shows, I'm talking about sitcoms from the 90s and stuff, they're always going to show some type of racism. And even in the early 2000s, they're going to show some type of racism and whatnot. Are we going to ever stop showing shows like that? Because it's
HBO has recently said they will take down, if not already, take down Gone with the Wind.
Right. They said they only took it down temporarily, though.
They did.
Just temporarily. Just temporarily. That means because there's how much it was promoting racism in that movie. So my thing is this, and a lot of, it's a small amount of folks have said this, but one video stands out too. Is if y'all seen this, is a kind of an elderly white lady talking to a whole group of white folks in a auditorium, and she said, "How would you feel if the blacks were in control and they were basically doing the same thing they do to us? Would you feel comfortable with that?" None of them raised their hand, and I was like, if you don't like the shoe being flipped by that happening to you, then why would you think it's okay for it to happen to us? Why does our color have to make it less of a person or look down upon just because of a color? So that's what I really wanted to make sure that they understand. Because, I'm going to give a quick story. First time, and we could probably do this too if we have time for it. First time you felt racism in front of your face, that you acknowledged it. I was on Tuskegee campus. Tuskegee, if everybody knows about Tuskegee, that's where Booker T. Washington started.
HBCU.
Yeah, HBCU. There you go. And it was a step show about to happen, and because of my looks and everything, and I'm trying to be funny, everybody thought I was an upperclassman and whatnot. But anyway, this lady asked me to help, and it was my freshman year. And I was, like a step show. So I'm in a t-shirt and jeans, and she was casual. She was one of the organizers. And she asked me to help her pull a table out. She was walking so fast because I didn't know where she was going. I'm still new. And this guard, not a policeman, a guard, white guard, came out of nowhere, said, "Where you going?" "I'm going with her." And then she had to come back because she heard our voices. So, "Oh, officer, he's with me. He was stopping me because he thinks I was trying to be up to something," which I wasn't, because first of all, why would I want to do something to my own campus? That's stupid. So that was my first face-to-face dealing with racism, just because of what I wore at an event that deals with comfortable clothes and everything. And she just happened to be an organizer.
Right.
I'll never forget that.
Yeah.
Never.
It's both a scary and interesting experience when you come in contact with a person who displays subtle racism. It can be very interesting and scary, and it will create dialogues like the one that we're having right now. Yeah. So I don't know if anybody else has experienced it, or I think all of us have. We just didn't know it.
Right.
In some form or fashion. Yeah. But what I want this morning show, to focus in, to zero in on, is 10 things we need to do as black people to get that black agenda. To get to that black agenda. 10 things. Just 10 things that we need to do as a people. Because I think for so long as people of the African American community, we say we want this and we say we want that, and to piggyback on what DJ Rollum said, it starts at home. And I have this saying that I share with people that I come in contact with and I have conversations with. I tell them your community starts at home. Before you get out there in the community and get out in the world and you interact with different kinds of people, because whether you go to an HBCU or not, you're going to have some form of interactions with people that are outside of your race, no doubt about that. But what are you getting from home? What have you learned? What tools have you obtained to become the person that you are, or to get to where you are, to help other people in your community and to help people outside of your community and to bring forth change? So I know we're not going to get into too much of it in the first hour of the morning show. But what do you think, Dynasty and DJ Roland? What do you think some of those things should be on the list to make it the top 10 things that black people should do to get to that black agenda? And I have a few. And I start from the bottom. Let's start with number 10 and then work our way up. Let's start from the bottom and work our way up to the top. So number 10, I think number 10 should be starting at home and instilling your child in learning his or her culture, history, black history.
Are you talking about for black people, or are you talking about for all people?
Because there is a difference.
There is.
There is
Because,
a
I mean, it
difference.
doesn't matter, because I think that most of us understand what our history is, and, because we see it constantly. But as far as when it comes to the Caucasian community and what's being taught in their households as far as against us, I think that is something that's not our agenda. That's something that they need to stop doing. And that comes from deep-rooted hatred that has been taught generational. So I don't think that piece has anything to do with us, because we can't teach them. They have to teach each other something different.
But here's why I say that. Here's why I say that it starts with us and teaching black kids, black boys and black girls, their history from at home. Because let's say, for example, you come across a person who is not of color. That person may have taken African American studies in college and school and what have you, and you only know 3 people, and that's Martin Luther King Jr., Harriet Tubman, and Rosa Parks. You don't know who Malcolm X is. You don't know who Medgar Evers is. You don't know who Frederick Douglass is. Schools that you think supposed to teach you who these people are, but in reality, that doesn't happen. And I think if you are a parent and you have your child sitting at home watching TV, playing video games, and they know who the baby is, and they know who Lil Baby is, and they know who LeBron James is, but they don't know who Malcolm X is, or they don't know who Sojourner Truth is, then that's problematic in the long run.
Well, okay, Dynasty, I don't know how you grew up in your Jersey town, but I remember me attending a white predominantly elementary schools in Baltimore, 2 sets. And of course, in those type of schools, you learn everything white beyond white.
See, my experience up north was totally different. I never even felt that until I came to the South. I went to school with, up north it was a melting pot. And even I could be the only black person in the room, and I never felt it. Never felt different, never was treated differently. When I came to the South, it was a culture shock for me, because I noticed the difference in the interaction and how the treatment and coming in contact. But I didn't just party in an all black club. I didn't just party, I partied in a mix of clubs. I worked with a mix of people, and we just looked at each other as people. We didn't look at each other as Puerto Rican, white, black, Dominican. It didn't matter. We all just, if we went out, we went out. We had a good time. If we playing stuff at our homes, we had a good time. And I never, ever felt it. I just never felt it. So it was a culture shock for me when I moved to the South and felt that, because I didn't feel that growing up. I didn't feel it as I was getting into the workforce, and not in up north where I was from, not in my community. I never felt it until coming to the South.
I agree with you on that. The thing about it, it's just that the teaching up there within the white predominant schools I was at, I didn't get that black fulfillment. I didn't get that till came down here. But first and foremost, the culture shock. Because when I got that black fulfillment, I was like, whoa, blew me away. I was like, they do this? We don't do that up there.
Yeah.
So that blew me away. And
Yeah.
so I was like, okay, all right. But it's just a culture shock. But the thing about it is I was thinking about the schools, what they do in the schools, and they and of course Atlanta, the home of Martin Luther King,
Yes,
the king of the civil rights movement.
Yes.
So everything they promoted, like king this, king that, and all that, got the street name and all this stuff, the museum and everything. You got the 2 Ebenezer churches and all that. Like, whoa, But I'm like, what else?
Right.
And what else can we know? I mean, it ain't the only thing. So it's like I didn't get the fulfillment of black studies until I got into high school. And that's blew my mind. It wasn't promoted. And then it got snuck around me a little bit because they didn't think I can able to handle it or would understand it.
Right.
But you have to take time because everybody's not going to learn at the same level, same speed, and all that stuff.
And let me just piggyback, because we're coming up on a break here on the Beat Break Morning Show. Let me piggyback on something that you said, because I'm from Atlanta as well, too. And my upbringing wasn't pro-black or anything. I didn't know much about the people that came before Martin Luther King Jr. and the other people that marched with Martin Luther King Jr. I didn't know who John Lewis was until I went to college. I knew about Reverend Jesse Jackson. I knew about Rosa Parks. I knew about Harriet Tubman and a few other people. I didn't know who Angela Davis was until I went to college, and the list goes on and on and on. Being that I am from, like DJ Rollum said, a city where it's historically known for Martin Luther King Jr. That's all you was taught was Martin Luther King, Martin Luther King, Martin Luther King. But thank God I got into this business called radio. I surrounded myself with people, activists, leaders, pillars of the community that instilled people I didn't know who they were about their history and what their contributions were to Atlanta. I didn't know who Hosea Williams was, and he marched with Martin Luther King Jr. And he even bailed Martin Luther King Jr. I didn't know that until years and years and years later. And for a city like Atlanta to be part of the epicenter of change, I think it's just very imperative that the younger generation, the new people that are coming into the world and being birthed into this world, they have to know not just only their ancestry, but they have to know why these people have died and fought for us to even be where we at today. I ask an 8-year-old kid, hey, do you know who Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. is? He's a civil rights leader. Okay. What more can you tell me about Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. other than he's a civil rights leader? I don't know. But it's a start. It's a start for that person to say he's a civil rights leader. But when you get to that 18, 19, 20 mark, your answer shouldn't just be he was a civil rights leader,
Right.
and that was it. So I'm putting that on the list. And some of you all may disagree, and that's fine, and that's cool too. But we just got to start from the bottom and work our way up as a people.
Yes.
You know, if you don't know where you come from, you don't know where you're going. We got a comment? All right.
Oh, a bunch of comments.
All right, a bunch of comments. All
right. Comments.
Is it pronounced Lillian?
Lillian.
Shout outs to Lillian checking in on Dynasty's Facebook page. IG page.
Mm-hmm.
She says now in Jacksonville, Florida, they are taking down the Confederate monuments. All the schools here are named after individuals who were very racist. I totally agree.
Right. Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. That's change.
Exactly.
That's change.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another thing too. And we'll put a bookmark in it in a moment. But that's another thing too. Like, we also need to know who the enemies were. Also, we need to know who the enemies were, and who were the people that oppressed them. I think that's fair too. What were you going to say, Roland?
I was going to say you had a person on my IG saying that basically is how to raise your kids. You got to know how to raise your kids and be aware of where you are. Georgia has been a Republican state for a while now.
Oh, yeah.
And even though we had in the past many Democratic governors here, but it was still considered as a red state, even though a Democratic governor was in charge for many years. They didn't become a Republican governor until the 21st century. That's when it kind of changed over. And two-term governors, they were Republican. So it's all about, like she said, what you teach at home. And don't be afraid to teach. And if you don't know, well, we didn't have, you and I, Dynasty, didn't have when we were kids. We didn't have Google. Google it. All you got to do is Google it. That's all you got to do.
Yeah. We did not.
You know, Tanya gets on me all the time and say, you want to know something? Google it, because I ain't going to tell you every daggone thing. That's what she says. So I'm like, okay, all right, I got to Google it and whatnot. So if you really want to know something and it's interesting to you, 99.9%, just like how the Lysol spray is supposed to kill all the germs, Google's going to find what you need to know. 99.9% of the time. Yeah. So go ahead and do that so you can teach yourself too. Just don't just think about the kids. Yes, we need to think about the kids, definitely, because they're the future. Right. But teach yourself. Don't you want to know? Do you want to keep repeating the same type of thought process? Because that's what we're trying to stop from them to do. Yeah. Having the same thought process. So you need to participate in learning as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The next hour of the Beat Break Morning Show, the Beat Break podcast is underway. We're going to carry on this conversation into the next hour. Number 10 is teach. We're just going to keep it simple. Teach. That's number 10.
There you go.
All right. We're going to complete the other 9 in the next hour of the program. Plus, I still want to talk a little bit more about this Dave Chappelle special on Netflix, because people are hitting me up about it, and I heard that he went in on people like Candace Owens and Don Lemonade.
Oh, he's not orange no more. He's not. He's not the bad orange juice.
Saying Don Lemonade is getting on my nerves right now. I don't even want to drink lemonade anymore, because every time I look at a cup or a bottle and it has lemonade in it, I think of him, and I just be like, I don't want it. I don't want it.
I just call him an expired orange juice. Expired orange juice. Because this is good.
You're right. You got the orange soda, which is Trump, and you got the lemonade, which is Don Lemon.
Okay.
All right, there you go. The Beat Break Morning Show, the Beat Break podcast, and then, of course, later on in the program, fake news and not fake news, as well as the DJ Roland mix, the caffeine and energy drink mix, underway next.
Getting hyped up. Yeah.
Yeah, I need you. Yeah. You need the what? You need the chocolate mix?
No, he said caffeine and energy drink.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Just be all over the place.
Mm-hmm. No, this is not Starbucks. This is not Starbucks. Not Starbucks.
No Starbucks. No Starbucks. All right. The Beat Break Morning Show, the Beat Break Podcast. Y'all keep it locked.
It's the Beat Break Morning Show with Sean Garvey and the crew.